Okay. So what I'm going to talk to you now is are the colors, the markers. So you should have your piece of scrap fabric, and you should have your assortment of markers handy, not close to your good Tallit. Don't have it close to it. You don't want to make any kind of marks on it except for the ones that you really want to have on there. Now we've got an assortment of your thin markers and your thick markers. Your thin ones are for doing the outline. So when I am going to outline my border, and I have it here, and I just want to show you how I just really simply taped two together so that they make one continuous pattern, which is there. And I'm going to do one side and trace, and then I'm going to just untape this and do the other side, so both will be done. But before I do that, I want to think about color. So there's a few things you need to think about. These markers do run. So just check it out and draw your lines. This is actually a really nice one. And you can see it's just bleeding very, very, very little, but there is some bleeding that goes on. So the other thing that you should do is when you're thinking about the colors that you use, and just give it a shake, just give them a little bit more oomph. Practice drawing next to the other lines. So I'm just going to take this purple, and I'm not going to go right on top of that black. I'm just going to see, yeah, there we go. I just want to see how much bleeding happens so that I can see how close I have to get. So there I could actually even add another line, so not too bad, but it does bleed a little bit. Okay? The other thing that you can do is just experiment with different colors, see what colors you like together, and let's see this one. There we go. And also see what happens with the bleeding next to each of them as well. There we go. Not too bad, actually. Yeah. So again, not too bad. So once you are ready, and it goes right on the paper as well. So once you are ready, and I'm just going to stop so I can take this down properly and put my Tallit down, and then we'll just go over the details of just tracing, making sure that it's all down flat, okay? Okay, so I've just taped my border just to the butcher block paper, and already I see, once I flipped it over, that it's still too close to the tsetse squares. So I've just got to move it over a little bit, and I've just taped it down underneath, and I'm still using that line to help guide me. So I'm making sure it's as even as possible. There we go. And then what you want to do, because you want it as smooth as possible. Yeah, I'm going to move this over a little bit. There we go. Is just tape down your Tallit so it's as smooth as possible when you trace. So you may not know exactly what colors you want, and that's okay. What you can do then, so that you've got the everything traced on your Tallit, is you should have a light gray marker. Test it out first on your fabric so you know what it's like. But it is quite light, and it doesn't really, unless you're using yellow or a very light color, it is so light. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. that it won't hinder the colors unless you're using yellow. If you know you're using yellow, plan out your design first. Otherwise, there you go. And so what I've decided to do is I'm going to use these three colors, and I'm just going to keep going back and forth with the three all the way down and just trace the outline of each of the petals. Now, what I'm doing here, and I'll try to show you afterwards. Sometimes in art classes, people teach, sometimes teachers teach students to do many little lines when you're doing a shape. You know, sometimes people go, okay, just keep going like that, and like that, and like that, like that, like that. Don't do that. Take your time and do one continuous line. One continuous tracing line. It's stronger, it's bolder, it looks better. Listen, people teach different things, but when it comes to the marker, definitely just take your time and trace one continuous line, especially for these ones on either side. There we go. And there's definitely bleeding going on here. So just be aware of that. There we go. And we'll just keep switching back and forth. Let's see. All of the markers, not just these ones, but all of the markers have just beautiful color. There we go. And I'll just show you this now. I'll just look up the computer and see if I can actually show you this a little bit, but you can see a bit of bleeding. There we go. And let's just show you that. Where is it? There it is. There. Okay, so once I finish that, then I'll be doing the other side. So both borders are done. Once you have that done, we're going to get your prayer done at the very top and also your Hebrew name at the bottom. Once those things are in, then you can really see how much you can play in the center of your tallit.